What's up, guys? This is the Von Casket, home to the lamest taste. My name is Nick, and you can check out my YouTube channel at the Vinyl Casket, all one word, where you can subscribe, like, and comment for much, much more. We do trailer reactions, movie and TV show reviews, book reviews, and especially every Wednesday night, you can check me out live on YouTube, where I do a live commentary on AEW Dynamite on TBS, The Wrestling Show, live every Wednesday, as well as what this is, my weekly comic book review. Every Wednesday, we get the books, we read the books, we bag and board the books, we take pictures in the light box for the Instagram. Oh, wrong side. Boom. Von Casket Comics, where you can check out many little write-ups. And right now, we're going to talk about them. We go indie, Marvel, DC, then we do a rating of 1 through 10, and then I'll talk about my top, 3 or 4 books, maybe 5. Not a big week, so we'll get through it really quick. Starting off with Image, one of 2 indies this week, both Image Comics. We have issue 10. Oh, I can't believe this is on 10 already, of Rogue Sun. This is the I'm already stuttering. Super Massive Verse universe tie-in. Being that Radiant Black started, and now we have a bunch of different series that tie in, including the Inferno Girl Red hardcover right over there that I still need to finish and do a review of. But this is issue 10 of Rogue Sun, and I'm really liking this storyline. I can't wait for Supermassive issue. I guess it's issue 1, but it's the second annual crossover to happen, especially with this build of Radiant Black having this very interesting new guardian angel, this new guide, being the original Night Sun, the original Rogue Sun, was this medieval knight that did it for all these years, and he's been in the stone. This weird spell to kind of take the stone from him, from his half siblings, reverted to this spiritual being coming out, and now he has this new guy that's not his dad. It's he needed his dad's guidance, but he didn't want his dad's guidance because his dad was a dick. So now with this new guy to help him out, it's really cool to see him willing to grow as a Rogue Sun, and this villain being this really cool different thing that we haven't seen yet. I love all the villains that we've gotten in this series, especially in this issue. The mom being a villain was really cool, and I'm really excited to see where they go and how this because in the last crossover, it was his dad is Rogue Sun. He hadn't died yet. And then in this series, it's the son, Dylan, as Rogue Sun. So see him cross over and Radiant Black be what's going on? Because it's the second Rogue Sun met his dad, and now with 2 guys being Rogue Sun, we're gonna get to see him meet the son. That's gonna be really interesting. Out of 10, we're gonna give this an 8 out of 10. We're gonna move on to issue 21 of Radiant Black. Super cool. We're leading into this big event. I'm hoping it's gonna be super massive, but it might just be inside Radiant Black. But there's giant alien robots, some really weird looking radiant being coming to Earth on their way. I love how Wendell, the yellow radiant, his weird fortune telling, future seeing visions are able to lead them on this weird mystery adventure to find out what's going on, and how is it Switch knows stuff that they don't, and there's all these really interesting scenes. It's very cinematic in the way it's drawn and written, with 2 guys coming together as Radiant and dealing with this situation with Pink and Red and Yellow, as well as them having to share the Radiant, and the way they figure out how to tap into them bouncing back and forth is really, really interesting. This series since issue 1 has just been a blast. I'm so happy that I got onto it when it came out, and I have no intention of ever dropping this. The series is great. Higgins is kicking butt, and the tie-in series Radiant Black, the Radiant Black tie-in series, the Radiant Red and Radiant Pink miniseries, the Rogue Sun ongoing, the Dead Lucky ongoing, as well as all the Infernal Girl Red stuff is all really cool. It's this little universe that just keeps getting bigger and bigger as these events goes on, and the climax that we're leading up to just seems so big and so massive. And that's why I'm hoping that this is the events of Supermassive, where all the Radiants and all the side characters from these other series have to come together to take these things on. Because besides Infernal Red, everybody else exists in the same world. They're just in different states. So I hope this gets, this happens the way it seems like it is. And I really am enjoying this. I highly suggest you guys pick up the paperbacks. I don't think there's hardcovers out of it. I wish there was. But I would definitely get into Radiant Black as soon as possible. Yeah, so we 8.5. We're gonna give it an 8.5. With that, we move on to Marvel. I think we have 3 Marvel books. We have issue 3 of Miles Morales Spider-Man with the Planet of the Apes variant cover. By the way, I'm pretty sure that this is a variant cover. I didn't actually say that. Yeah, this is a variant cover. So this is not the A cover. This is the Planet of the Apes anniversary. Excuse me. Verse Planet of the Apes variant cover. So really excited. I'm hoping we get some Planet of the Apes Marvel comics, being that they own the rights to this now. I didn't see anything about that though, so I haven't seen any solicits for Planet of the Apes series. But the way they did it with Predator and Alien was they did these variant covers, and then they have ongoing and miniseries now. I would love to see some Planet of the Apes miniseries. I think that would be really cool. Miles though, issue 3. I like the buildup of this villain. I liked her backstory. I liked the explanation. I thought it was pretty interesting. I didn't think it was like amazing, but it definitely is different. I liked the way this, his team up against his teched out Scorpion, and I really am enjoying it. The first couple issues, I didn't like that they were like forcing conflict and creating problems out of, like, the last series, the last volume had these really interesting moments and these character relationships and everything that I loved. And then they were trying to like create problems in those relationships to force issues that did not need to be. There was other things they could have tapped into to create situations, but instead they're forcing him to have Peter Parker-esque relation problems, which isn't cool. We didn't get to see that much in this, so that was cool. And we got to highlight, some of the interesting things about Miles right now, and I loved it. So this gets a easy 8 out of 10. We move on to Moon Knight issue 20. Awesome variant cover, and yeah, this series too, just a continuously really good storyline. Great art. They just keep building this. I love that they did a pretty long swap into one of his personalities, where they brought him out and they used his background and his personality's thing as a way to figure out things, because these people from a past Moon Knight thing, the Shadow Cabinet, were being hunted down and killed. So Moon Knight and his mission are trying to get everybody gathered and safe, and they had to use one of his other personalities' gimmicks to figure out the route. Very interesting, very smart. I'm gonna give this an 8.5 out of 10. I think that's just amazing. Last Marvel is the finale for Dark Web. So my problem here for the finale is not my problem. I didn't read the Mary Jane and Black Cat stuff. That didn't seem like it really was influencing or involved at all in any of this, so that was interesting. And I missed the one issue of Venom, the second issue of Venom that came out this week. I didn't pick it up. Probably should, because there was a lot of Bedlam stuff going on in here, so I might have to pick that up just to see what's going on. But besides that, I love this. I actually enjoyed Dark Web. I know people are gonna say no, it wasn't that good. I know Manny Reads Comics is gonna say this is dog shit, right? I liked it. I thought it was interesting. I liked the artwork. I liked the storytelling, the dialogue, the characterization of all these characters, and the end all conclusion of this next step of evolution for Madeline Pryor, and how Ben Riley's kind of still Chasm, but he's in this like weird predicament where he's calmed down, he knows he messed up, and they want to help him, and he's kind of like dealing with his issues and has to pay back, you know, for all the shit he did. I can't wait to see Chasm be a hero, because now he's his own character. He's not just Spider-Man. He's not just Scarlet Spider. Like, he is Chasm, right? He has these new powers, these different abilities, a different costume. And it also opens up the door to bring back Kane Parker as Scarlet Spider. So that you get all Peter and his two clones, all with separate identities, doing their own things in separate different costumes. Would love that. Would think it would be amazing. Dark Web was really cool. I'm gonna give it a 7.5 out of 10. Overall, as a series, I'm gonna give it an 8. Into DC, we got 2 issues. We got a one we have a one shot and I guess 2 one shots. I don't know why this one's not labeled a one shot. We'll get into one shot first. Batman Legends of Gotham one shot, right? You got Katana and a Red Hood right there, and I am a big fan of this issue, right? So it basically puts Jason Todd and 2 members of the Outsiders on this big mission where they think they blew it, but they didn't realize that the whole time it was all set up for Red Hood to get what he wanted, right? And at the end, there's this really weird, like, scene that I still can't fully flush out what it's meant to depict, but it's leading into something. So we're gonna get some Outsider stuff, and we're gonna get some Red Hood stuff, I would assume. I haven't been paying attention to some of the Batman spin-off stuff. I kind of dropped them because they were a little bit too pricey, even though you were getting like 4 or 5 stories a month out of them. I kind of dropped them, but I got to go back and see if there's anything cool for this stuff. But I'm really enjoying this. I liked the depiction of Katana and Black Lightning. I really liked how Jason was depicted. They referenced his solo series and his outlaw series. So it was Red Hood and Outlaws. So it depicted him and his outlaws. It referenced that. It referenced his solo series. It referenced Outsiders. It referenced all sorts of mini short stories, as well as the Task Force Z storyline that just happened. So it referenced all that stuff. It put him back in this costume, which I didn't understand, because I don't really like this costume, but I'll deal with it. It's his Outlaws costume, so we'll deal with it. But it was pretty interesting. It was a really good story. I really liked the artwork. His relationship and his bond with Killer Croc, like the what was going on with him and Killer Croc was really cool, and having to deal with Bane being back in the picture was really interesting, because obviously there was a bunch of like flashbacks to him and Alfred and stuff. That was cool. Really enjoyed this. It was a really cool one shot. I'm gonna give it a 7.5 out of 10. We're gonna move on to another one shot, which is the Flash 1 Minute War special. So I don't know why they just didn't say one shot. I guess they wanted to put the Flash emblem there. It's whatever. It is a one shot that ties into the ongoing storyline of the Flash right now. So this isn't a specific part. It was like 3 stories that tie into the ongoing 1 Minute War storyline. So you get like the origin story of like the alien race that is doing the 1 Minute War. You get some other backstories about what's going on inside, and then my favorite thing was you get a future story of this species coming back and attacking Earth again, but now Jai is like more of an adult and has tapped into his powers because he didn't have full control over how he has super strength that he taps into from the Speed Force. But because it's not traditional Speed Force, he had a hard time controlling it when he was a kid and got frozen when these guys came last time, what we're currently reading. So now this is a situation where he has better control over the Speed Force and he's able to stay in the Speed Force while this is happening. And now this whole new thing, he's able to take him down, and he develops this relationship with Gold Beetle, and Impulse is like this big character, and his sister is the Flash, and I loved it. I thought that was cool. That was my favorite part. The origin story was cool too, but that was my favorite part. Oh, that's the other thing that came back. That was the middle story. The middle story was the return of Godspeed. Godspeed's back. It's happening in the middle of 1 Minute War as we know it. So we get the origin story of the species that came to start the 1 Minute War. And we had a story in the middle of our current 1 Minute War, and then we had a future story of when these guys come back to Earth. Godspeed's back. I don't know how they're going to explain that Godspeed's back, but he's back, and I'm so excited. I've been telling everybody I've wanted this since he died. Since it was when I first got back into doing live reviews. When I first ever started doing live reviews, that Flash series, it was a different writer. I don't remember who it was necessarily. I think it's the guy who was doing Batman. No, it was the guy that was doing Batman. I'm not sure. But yes. So this is Adams. He's kicking butt. Bringing back Godspeed is incredible. I remember watching Godspeed get his neck snapped by Reverse Flash. That messed me up. He's back. Future stories of Wally's kids, as well as an origin story. This is definitely a cool issue to pick up. I really enjoyed it. I'm gonna give it an 8.5. And with that being said, we're gonna quickly do our top 5. Yeah. So I'll do 5 is going to be Rogue Sun. 4 will be Spider-Man Miles Morales, or Miles Morales Spider-Man. We will do Moon Knight as 3, Flash as 2, and Radiant Black as my pick of the week. Definitely check out the Instagram soon. I have a bunch of stuff I got to post. I got to finish reading Inferno Girl Red and then do a review on it. I also have some other stuff that I need to read and review that I haven't been able to get to. I have some manga reviews as well as book reviews I got to do. So the next week or so, look out for trailer reactions, look out for book reviews, and maybe possibly a TV show review. I have to do what show did I watch on Netflix that I finished? Grand Army. Very upset that got canceled. Amazing show. With that being said, guys, check out the YouTube channel, The Vinyl Casket, all one word, where you can subscribe, like, and comment. Hit the bell for much, much more. And remember to do me a massive favor. Stay lame.